be a Steelers, consider others before you consider yourself. To protect your brother, even from himself. To give support at your own expense. And when wearing the black and gold suit of armor, make sure nobody desecrates it, disrespects it. Most importantly, we ourselves don't dishonor it. From previous legends who have donned the black and gold. These virtues I learned while playing for the Steelers are what make the legacy of the black and gold timeless. They are passed down in the locker room from the steel curtain to anyone who valiantly wears the black and gold. Creating a brotherhood that is deeper than money, business, and winning. To be a Steelers, consider others before you consider yourself. This is our culture, Steeler culture. Now, here are your hosts, Rob and Dan, the Steel Twins.
Hey, listen, Mason Rudolph, what are you doing right now, huh? Just asking, because we could use your assets right about now. Mason, we know you're going to be a free agent and whatnot, so, maybe a little reunion. Your number's available now.
We need help! We need help!
You can have your number back. Phil's ain't here no more.
The chat is saying we just signed Malik Harrison.
Huh?
Yeah, the chat just said we are signing linebacker Malik Harrison. I'm going to refresh Twitter, which is finally working. Here it is. Tom Pelissero, linebacker Malik Harrison to the Steelers on a 2-year, $10 million deal per me and Mike Garafalo.
Oh, the former Raven.
Yes.
I was going to say who? Okay, former third-round pick. Okay.
Depth.
All right, special teams guy maybe.
But does that mean that Aaron Rodgers is gone? That's what that tells me.
I hope not.
That's what that tells me.
I hope not.
Malik Harrison's a inside guy, right?
Yeah, he's inside.
He's
part of the rotation with Roquan and Trenton Smith, I think.
That tells me Atlanta Roberts is gone. So I can't make this up. For the second straight year, the Steelers have signed already.
Hey, Big Ben. Hey, you busy right now, bro? You want to put your hat in the jar?
I think Ben's fine. Murray's at.
I'm just saying.
What does that say?
All motor
206. I'm blind as a bat, bro. With a 199.
Where's your glasses?
It's upstairs. I have contacts in.
Okay.
We should have kept Fields. We need a dual threat quarterback. I agree. Instead, we're going to get one of two guys. One of two guys.
And I'll tell you right, Dan?
I'll tell you right now, none of them are mobile. They're as mobile as a statue.
Yeah, you're talking about Russell Wilson
and Aaron Rodgers. As of right now, as we all speak and stand here, wherever you guys are, appreciate you guys watching. Aaron Rodgers is currently talking with the Steelers. He's also currently talking with, I hear, the Giants. The Titans are currently talking with Russell Wilson. The Giants are talking with Russell Wilson. We're running out of options, folks. We're running out of options. Sam Darnold got overpaid by the Seahawks, and the Jets have signed Justin Fields to a 2-year contract worth $40 million, $30 million guaranteed. Justin Fields is gone, guys.
Yep.
That kind of sucks. That kind of sucks, I'm not going to lie, because that's who we wanted to be the bridge for this season.
Hey, listen, man, that's just one bit of the information in the news that we will talk about and discuss on this edition of the Steeler Culture Podcast. Thank you guys for tuning in here live on this Monday afternoon for another episode of the Steeler Culture Podcast, where we, as always, break down Pittsburgh Steelers football, as this episode is powered by our great friends over at BetUS Sportsbook and Casino.
Yes, and I'm going to put a poll in the chat. Who do you want at quarterback? Because these are the two most likely options, and it's going to be one of the two. Who do you want at quarterback, Russ or Rodgers? I can't believe these are the last two options that we're stuck with.
But yeah, because outside of Russ and A-Rod, who else is there?
Daniel Jones.
Mason, come back. I have your jersey. I'll gladly wear it again.
So will I.
Come
maybe
back, Mason.
Maybe they draft a quarterback this year. It's not ideal, but maybe they do. It's not ideal whatsoever. Not only is this going to be a huge discussion about the quarterback position, the Steelers have finally signed a corner today.
Yeah, it's a stacked free agent cornerback group.
And
a lot of names, a lot of great talent.
And, waking up this morning, I was very excited to see, what's the next great young free agent experienced Steeler that they're going to sign for the cornerback position.
That they can fill the cornerback position for years to come.
I'll tell you right now, they really got a great up-and-comer. You won't believe his name.
Oh, my God, man. He's got years left in him, bro. He's just in the prime of his career.
34 years young. Darius Slay. What are we doing?
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie to you guys, bro.
Yeah.
I'm not the happiest of a fan right now.
As of now, I'm not feeling the signing of Darius Slay. I'm really not. All I'm going to say right now before we actually dive into it, we've been there, done that.
Patrick Peterson 2.0. Been there, done that. What's the definition of insanity, folks? You guys know. The Steelers have done the same thing over and over and over again, and they're doing that again at the quarterback position now officially. Don't know who, but it's going to be one of the two older guys. And we bring in another aging vet at the cornerback position to be a rental instead of fixing the position. Yesterday was a solid day to be a Steelers fan. Today, not so much. More could come. I'm not ready to just blast and say this is an awful free agency period on day one. This is day one. So many other holes they could fix, so many other guys they could bring in a D-line, and maybe they bring in another corner, which is very advised. Byron Murphy's still available. But as of now, what they've done so far, not the happiest of a fan right now.
No, after what happened yesterday when the news broke live on the air as we were here live, talking about free agency, it was a grade A+ by Omar Khan and the Steelers. They got DK Metcalf. That will be official come Wednesday afternoon. And we were very hopeful and optimistic that, all right, that was the good starting point of it. That was a good, first impression for them. And it's like, okay, what can they do to kind of feed off of that? What can they do to keep the momentum going? I would say that as of now, there's still time left. There's still news to be announced. There's still stuff that the Steelers can do. But, the moves that have been done, the talent that they missed out on, and the guys that they have brought in as of now, I'm not feeling it on the first day of the legal tampering period.
Me neither. I mean, DK Metcalf was exactly what they needed to do. They needed to fix the wide receiver position, and they needed to set up for life when we get the next quarterback in 2026, ideally.
Yes. Outside of Metcalf being traded to Pittsburgh, I'm not feeling anything else yet.
Yeah, we did that with Metcalf, but I can't say we're doing that with what we have right now and what they've done today.
And the cap space that they still have, and that they have actually, added more to. They added more to the cap space. We'll talk about that.
Yeah, there's a lot that we're going to talk about, but get your guys' polls in the chat. Let us know how you guys are feeling about everything today regarding Fields being signed to the Jets, Darius Slay being officially signed as a Steeler, now breaking from the chat. Thank you, Malik Harrison, now signed to the Steelers as inside linebacker depth, which might spell the end for Aaron Rodgers in Pittsburgh, which hurts my soul because he was a stud for so many years. So let us know your guys' thoughts down in the comments, man. We're going to get this out the way quick. I want to appreciate the sponsor of today's live stream. Huge shout out to BetUS Sportsbook and Casino for sponsoring this live stream as we look at the early betting odds for the number one overall pick, the first overall pick for the NFL draft in 2025 next month in April. Obviously, at the top of the list is Cam Ward. The Titans have the number 1 pick. And I'll tell you what, boy, did the Titans pay a certain tackle today.
We'll talk about that. And I just do want to take my hat off real quick and send my condolences to whoever that quarterback may be.
Whether that is Russell Wilson or most likely Cam Ward. Or could they draft Travis Hunter? Could they draft Abdul Carter? Could they draft Shador Sanders, which would be hilarious? I think it's between Ward and Carter, and obviously those are the 2 lowest odds. But maybe they pull something crazy and they do something that you wouldn't expect, because come draft season, expect the unexpected.
Shador?
I hope not, for their sake.
Yeah, for their sake.
But this is the NFL draft odds, so if you guys want to get on any of your betting odds for the NFL draft, just to have some fun for the NFL offseason, they have you covered, as well as any other sports around the sports world. When signing up today, use a 150% sign-up bonus on your first deposit up to $2,000 and 125% on your following 2 deposits using the promo code YouTube150. And they also have a casino if you guys are into that as well. So if you're into slots and live casino dealers, BetUS has a special offer for you in that regard. Receive a 200% sign-up casino bonus up to $5,000 and 250% crypto sign-up bonus up to the same amount. So take advantage of all these bonuses. Huge shout out to BetUS for sponsoring with us on this video. Just please gamble responsibly. Please. The Steelers, do something that is going to make me a little match the energy from yesterday, from 24 hours ago.
Yes. Where exactly do you want to dive in first?
Quarterback,
of course.
Yeah, Justin Fields signed with the Jets, like I mentioned earlier.
Yes, Justin Fields, not to interrupt you.
Good.
He's gone. Justin Fields has agreed to terms with the New York Jets on a 2-year, $40 million deal
Leonard Dodd.
with $30 million guaranteed.
Leonard Dodd with a 5. This team makes me a full-blown alcoholic. We are a complete nursing home for old players. Isaiah with a 199. Thanks a lot, Mike Tomlin. Yeah, I put this loss, quote-unquote, of Justin Fields on Tomlin. If he never benched Justin Fields, I think Justin Fields is very much still the Steelers quarterback for 2025. Not the future. I want to make that abundantly clear immediately, because I never once said that Fields was the future, even when we traded for him last year. Never believed he was the Steelers' future. Never believed he was the franchise. There's too many holes in this game that may or may not be fixed, that cannot be fixed at this stage of how many years he's been in the league. But for a bridge and for the options that were on the table for the Steelers, he was probably the most experienced in terms of their scheme and chemistry. He was probably the youngest and the cheapest option available. And ultimately, he signs with the Jets for $30 million guaranteed. Now, $30 million guaranteed might sound like a lot, especially for a guy like Justin Fields, who doesn't have a great win-loss record, who may or may not be worth being a starter in the league. On him with a 199.
Kenny Pickett.
Yes.
Yes.
Kenny Pickett went to the Browns. I was sitting down eating dinner, and I laughed my ass off.
That actually put a smile on my face.
Yeah, that's the first time a smile was put on my face today. And it wasn't related to the Steelers. He's back in the AFC North, and I anticipate him to start for the Browns at one point this year, and believe me, I will be heavily invested in that game. Yes, I will.
Yeah, that's interesting. But yes, Kenny Pickett, welcome back to the AFC North.
That's tremendous. I thought that was great. That's hilarious. That's the most Browns thing to do.
Yeah.
But Justin Fields, man, you might think $30 million is too much, especially, like I said, considering his win-loss record and how he may not be considered a starter. The Jets view him as a starter, and there are reports from Schefter that Fields was not going to resign with the Steelers if they didn't commit to him as the QB1. Clearly, the Steelers didn't enough, or if they did, they lowballed him an offer, or maybe Fields just had trust issues with what Tomlin and the Steelers did with Fields after Week 6 last year. I don't blame Fields for walking.
No.
I don't.
No, and I'm going to say this right here, right now. I wish Justin Fields nothing but the best, and I hope that he, as a Jet, for his sake and for the Jets' sake, for his career, for Justin Fields to take a chance on himself, to leave the Steelers, leave a coach like Mike Tomlin for a new head coach and Aaron Glenn, and see what he's trying to bring to the Jets organization, that mentality to the Jets culture, and learn yet again another offensive scheme and another offensive system for how many years straight now?
Well, he wanted to bet on himself.
And Justin Fields is that kind of guy that's going to. He always has. He's always had that mentality. He wants to better himself. He wants to bet on himself.
I admire that.
And I wish Justin nothing but the best.
I do. Me too. You know, we wanted him back for $30 million. It might be steep to some people, considering his resume and his stats and how much he adds to the passing game, which, again, all that's valid.
If you're not down with that,
Oh, God.
Isaiah with a $4.99. This is great. Browns fans, get ready for Kenny Pickett to throw to John Cena again. Have fun.
Where's he at? I can't see him. I can't see him.
Well, we also
John Cena is forever and always going to be Kenny Pickett's number one weapon.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, AB ain't got nothing on John Cena.
Hey, listen, Pickett turned heel too.
He did.
Yeah.
Pickett turned heel last year.
Yeah.
He sure did. Before Cena ever could.
And now they're back together on the dark side.
On the dark side. In Cleveland, in a dumpster. Unbelievable, right? But no, Fields, listen, best of luck. I'm a little upset that Steelers let him walk. $30 million might be too much to you. To me, $30 million for a starting quarterback is chump change. In the market, $30 million guaranteed over 2 years. Not $30 million a year. $30 million guaranteed over 2 years is chump change at the quarterback position. In fact, his $30 million guaranteed is actually the lowest of any starting quarterback in the league right now that doesn't include a rookie contract.
Mm-hmm.
So it's chump change. It might be a little steep to some people, but for the quarterback market, for a starter-worthy contract, it's cheap. The Steelers didn't view him as a starter clearly enough.
No.
And now their options lie in Russ and Rodgers. Again.
Yeah, but on Justin Fields, because it was reported that, I think it was Rappaport yesterday after Metcalf was traded to the Steelers, that Fields was still priority A when it came to the Steelers. Obviously, it wasn't priority enough for the Steelers. Whether that was a money issue, which I kind of find hard to believe, I feel like money was not the issue in the circumstance with Fields and the Steelers. I don't think that was the case.
So what do you think was the issue?
I think what the issue is the fact that for some reason the Steelers did not want to commit to Justin Fields as QB1.
Right.
Whether they didn't view him as a starter or starter worthy enough, or maybe they just didn't believe in Justin Fields, or they were worried about Justin Fields and his turnover issues. But then I question, why did you bring him in as a backup?
Or because it was cheap, a 6th-round pick. That's why.
So essentially, they don't really miss out on a whole lot. They
don't.
trade away a
They
6th-round pick, and due to the Metcalf trade, they swapped late-round picks. So I imagine they trade away one of their 2 7ths for a 6th-round pick for Seattle.
No, they don't miss out on a lot, and Fields was always going to be the bridge. 2025 it was forever going to be the year of the bridge for the Steelers this year. They were always going to have a bridge quarterback, regardless of that being Fields, Russ, or Rodgers right now. What I wanted was the cheapest, youngest, and most experienced option in the scheme. That was Fields. He brings something a little more exciting than a Rodgers or a Russ, which is mobility, which is, we got to see what he could do in the passing attack to some degree when he was able to be schemed to throw the ball deep, and now he has 2 vertical threats outside with DK and Pickens. Maybe we could finally see what he could have brought to the table. Now we're not. So I'm not going to harbor on that too much now because that's clearly in the past. We can't harbor on that too much because we got to go now with what's available. Rodgers or Russ.
But this is the boat that the Steelers have put themselves in.
Now, listen, I can't believe these are the 2 options we're down to.
Yes.
Unless Rodgers signs with the Giants, Russ signs with the Titans, who the hell are we left with? Daniel Jones?
Beats me.
Mason Rudolph? I'm quite terrified.
Who else? Carson Wentz? Who else is out there?
You did not just say Carson Wentz.
Are you kidding me?
Are you going to draft a rookie in the 1st round? Are we going to do this all over again? There's no quarterback outside of Cam Ward worth of a 1st-round grade. All motors 06. One with a 199. Russell Wilson has amazing deep ball and would have 2 threats. I'll give that to you. He has a good deep ball. Deep
ball, but I mean, that's what he relies on 90% of the time.
He's a one-trick pony. He's not mobile no more. He holds on to the ball too long. At the end of the season, he forced a lot of turnovers. He was very unprotected with the football. And all he does is moon ball, and that's it. That's all he depends on. Nothing in the middle of the field. Nothing else whatsoever except the deep ball.
Yeah.
That's all there is. That's all there is with Russ. And I can't believe I'm saying this. But with the options that we are stuck with, we have to choose Russ or Rodgers. What is our preference now? 57% of you guys say Rodgers, and 57% of you guys I agree with. Because we have already seen what Russ is capable of. We have already seen what Russ can do with the Steelers.
We've got 2 words for
Anthony
you.
with a 199. Would you have signed Darnold? No. Not at that contract.
No. Sam Darnold's officially a Seahawk. He's agreed to terms, but boy, did he get a freaking contract. 3 years, $100.5 million.
How much is that guaranteed?
Way too much money.
Let's see.
Way too much money. What is that? $33 million a year? 33.5 mil, just about.
What's guaranteed?
Better look at that quick.
Sam Darnold.
If you're not down with that,
Yeah, 33.5 mil.
we've got 2 words for
Joe
you.
Milton. I don't mind Mason Rudolph coming back. I would love Joe Milton. Now that the Patriots just signed my boy Josh Dobbs. Hey, Con, call up whoever the GM is for the Patriots. Yo, we'll give you a 2026 fifth for Joe Milton.
$55 million guaranteed for Sam Darnold.
God damn.
55.
That's ridiculous.
Yep.
I was not paying that.
No.
No. The Seahawks are more desperate than we are, clearly. We were never going to get Darnold. It was not worth it. He's not good. You take him out of the best scheme in the league to put him with the worst scheme in the league. You're asking for a disaster. You're asking for a cap disaster. You're asking for a cap nightmare.
Yep.
Not worth it. I never wanted Darnold. For Fields, at the price, might be steep to you guys, but considering the starting quarterback contracts, I would have given that to Fields. But now, those guys are gone. The younger options are gone. So between Rodgers and Russ, I'm going Rodgers because, again, we have already seen what Russ can do. Why bring him back another year? We already know what he's capable of. We already know what he can deliver for us. Why bring Russ back?
You add upon the fact in the report that apparently Arthur Smith and Russ,
Got 2 words for you.
Anthony says 2 words with a 199. That's for sure.
indeed, the fact that you had Aaron,
Bring back Brister? Why not? I bring back Neil O'Donnell.
How about Tommy Maddox? Tommy Automatic, was that his nickname?
What's Charlie Batch doing?
Listen, Arthur Smith and Russell Wilson, there was reports that they were butting heads. They didn't have great communication. They weren't on the same page 90% of the time.
Yeah.
You really want to bring that for another year?
Because Russ wanted to throw the ball, which I agree with. And Arthur Smith was like, no, we got to run the ball. No, you don't.
Yeah, if that wasn't apparent in the second Bengals matchup compared to the first Bengals matchup.
Exactly.
Now, that doesn't mean I want Russell Wilson back.
But here's the thing. With Aaron Rodgers, the same thing's going to happen.
So
Aaron
it's like
Rodgers
it's a double-edged sword. You really have to pick your poison.
So if what's his name?
Russ?
No.
Arthur Smith?
Yeah. If Arthur Smith was having communication issues with Russell Wilson, what makes you think it's going to be different with a guy like Aaron Rodgers, who is a control freak? He controls everything. He has all the say in everywhere he goes. Look what happened to the Jets.
Yeah.
He single-handedly got Robert Saleh fired.
He even got Devontae Adams to become a Jet.
He even got his OC from Green Bay.
And none of that worked for the Jets.
Aaron Rodgers would be a nightmare. Maybe not as bad as Russ in terms of quarterback play, but Aaron Rodgers is a head case. Do we want that type of ego in the locker room with Pickens and even, yes, DK? The Steelers are fucked, man.
Yeah, it'd be the 4th of July in that locker room every single night.
If you're not down with that,
Oh, God.
we've got 2 words for you.
Tortilla Jackson with a 2. Sign Winston and lose in the name of Jesus.
Yeah, the Steelers aren't doing that.
You know what?
The Steelers aren't going to do that.
You know what? Listen, my guy Fields is gone. I wish him best of luck. I don't care anymore. 2025 was always going to be the year of the bridge. We said that all offseason, especially now. I don't care anymore, dude. I don't. I already have low expectations. What I view this season as, and this is how the Steelers need to humble themselves, 2025 is setting up for the quarterback that will be drafted in 2026. That's how this season should be approached. It's not about how many games can we win. Fuck that. It's about setting up for the quarterback you will draft next draft. That's how it should be. No matter who the quarterback's going to be, it's whatever. But if you had to ask me my preference at the options right now, hilariously, I'm going Aaron Rodgers. And I see a lot of people saying, yes, Kyler Murray. is he going to be available? Why would the Cardinals trade him? I don't understand why that would be a logical move by the Cardinals.
What would the Steelers be willing to give up for a guy like Kyler Murray?
And
what would be the Cardinals' asking price for Kyler Murray? I'd have to
first?
imagine that it's a first and then some.
You ask for any starting quarterback in the league, or you ask for any team to get rid of their starting quarterback, it's going to be a minimum of first rounder. And if they can get any less, go for it. I don't hate the idea of Kyler Murray.
If you're not down with that, we've got 2 words.
Isaiah with a 199. We just signed Malik Harrison. Yes, that was reported.
Yeah, 2-year, $10 million. 2-year, $10 million. That is, I would imagine, Atlanta Roberts' replacement, unfortunately.
Well, Darius Slay is not an option because he is re-signing with the Giants on a 3-year deal worth $36 million.
Darius Slayton.
Yeah.
Don't forget the ton.
I thought I said ton.
I think he said Slay.
Darius Slayton.
Darius Slayton, wide receiver, not corner. Darius Slayton is re-signing with the Giants. God bless his soul. Moving on, I suppose, since we discussed quarterback, we don't know who will be signed, but we all know that the options at our hand.
Well, let me just say this before we move on.
We've got 2 words for you.
All Motor 06 with a 199. Cup is about to get released. Sign him for cheap. Put him in the slot. If you can get him cheap, screw it. Screw it.
Yeah,
If you
but
can
then
get him cheap, listen,
who the hell is your quarterback?
Huh?
Who the hell's your quarterback?
I don't care anymore, okay? I don't.
Listen, man.
As long as it's not Russ, because I'm not trying to rerun the same season all over
No,
again.
listen, I think we've been there, done that.
It's bad enough the Steelers are rerunning with a coaching staff. It's already bad enough the Steelers are rerunning with Patrick Peterson playing 2.0 and Darius Slay. I don't want to rerun it with the same quarterback.
If you're not down with that, we've got 2 words for
Terry
you.
Jones with a 5. If you miss out on Rodgers and Russ, do you use a first on Dart or use this year's first and next year's for Murray?
Terry, I was just going to get to that point. Whether Field stayed as a bridge or if it's going to be Wilson or Rodgers or whoever else at this fucking point, I don't want the Steelers to have to reach for a quarterback in this draft. You want to take one in the later rounds for depth purposes? Fine. I don't care about that. That's fine, and Danny, that works for me. You're not reaching for a quarterback in this draft class.
No, we've
that
been there,
just
done
speaks
that.
of desperation. That would just be nothing but a wasted pick, and I still don't trust this coaching staff to develop said quarterback.
Yeah, we don't
not in this draft class.
We don't have a quarterback guru coach to build anyone. Kenny experienced that firsthand. Kenny wasn't good, but they clearly didn't give him a good situation. No quarterback in this draft class is worth a first rounder except Cam Ward, in our opinion. And no, I'm not taking Sanders if he falls. That set the franchise back even further. Jackson Dart, I really like, but not enough for a first round pick. A third if he's there, but I don't think he falls out of the first because I think there'll be many teams that won't take him in the first. Now, if your plan is to take a guy like Jackson Dart in the first, you better sit him for 2 years, a year minimum.
Yep.
So say they sign Aaron Rodgers. You draft Jackson Dart. He sits under a year. You don't make him the day one starter. You keep him on the bench as much as you can. But even then, I don't know if that's the right call. I don't think that's the right move.
We've got 2 words for you.
Shirley with a 499. With the comp picks, we can use those to move up next year for Nico. Yeah, because the Steelers are going to be getting some comp picks because Dan Moore. Listen, good for Dan Moore. Not good for the Titans. Dan Moore signed the contract of a lifetime. Of a lifetime.
If you're not down with that,
Tristan
we've got 2 words for
with a 199.
Well, we got another one coming in. Hold on a second. Give it a minute.
If you're not down with that, we've got 2 words for
Tristan,
you.
we can't trade Naji. He's officially a free agent. Well, not officially, but he can talk to teams now. We can't trade Naji. He could sign with the Chargers right now if he wanted to.
Yeah.
And Danny Littlejohn, first draft pick, what position should be picked? Well, now that we signed Darius Slay, I'm not rolling out corner anymore. Defensive line, we haven't picked up anyone yet.
If you're not down with that, we've got 2 words
Lamar
for
Dodd
you.
with a 5. They better take the best player available in the draft after this blunder of free agency and not reach for a damn quarterback again. That's where I'm at. And that could be anybody. That could be anybody. That could be Genty. That could be Hampton. That could be Grant. That could be Harmon. That could be Jahdae Barron. That could be another receiver. Walter Nolan. So many options, dude. I'm not reaching on a quarterback this year. I don't think that's ideal.
No.
Even if you have him sit for a year, I don't think that's smart. Build everything around the quarterback position. We keep saying this. This year is about setting up for the 2026 draft when you draft a quarterback. Build everything so that that quarterback has everything in line to succeed.
Yeah, I don't think it's ideal.
Why do you think they traded for DK? You think DK is going to make
It's
much
not just for this upcoming season, no.
No. Do you think DK is going to make much of a difference this year? He might make some sort of a difference because he's a huge improvement. But down the road, this is about setting up for the future quarterback.
That's why we got excited. That's why we got so hyped and happy, the fact that he's going to be a Steeler, because it's all part of the plan for the future quarterback. That quarterback is not in this draft class.
This is a patient game that Omar Khan is playing.
I don't think it is ideal for the Steelers to take a quarterback within the first 2 days. You want to take one in the later rounds for depth? Fine by me. But I feel like there are more important positions that you have to address. If you're not going to do it in free agency, you got to do it in the draft with your first and third round pick. They could very well trade back in the first to get a second round pick back or another third round pick back.
I would.
To get 2 day 2 picks again.
I would.
I think that's ideal, depending on who's on the board. But I think that's very possible.
At 21, that's a prime pick for a ton of talent to be available.
And then you use those picks to fulfill and fix said positions.
Well, who's to say that you trade back from the 21st pick? Who's to say you don't get extra picks for next year along with the comp picks? Because Dan Moore signed a huge contract with the Titans. The Steelers will be in line for a potential third-round pick next year if they don't cancel out by signing someone. Same thing with Justin Fields. He could be giving the Steelers a comp pick as long as the Steelers don't sign someone to cancel it out. Same thing with Dante Jackson. He just signed with the Chargers. They could be getting several comp picks as long as they don't sign anyone to cancel out. And no, the Darius Slay signing and the trade for Metcalf doesn't cancel those out because Metcalf was a trade acquisition and Slay was already released before they could do the legal tampering. But if they sign any major names like a Byron Murphy or anyone else, maybe a defensive line or a quarterback not named Rodgers.
Yeah, because Rodgers doesn't take anything away from the comp pick.
Because he was released.
Yeah.
Not contract expired. Contract was released. So Rodgers being signed wouldn't cancel anything out. But if they go out and get like a defensive lineman or a guy like Byron Murphy who's still available, that would cancel some out. But not everything.
Not everything, no.
But that's the way to look at it. If they trade back from 21, they can get picks for next year as long as this year, along with the comp picks for next year. They got all the tools and all the resources to trade up and get the guy in 2026. That's why this year needs to be all about setting that guy up for success. Just like what the Bears did with Caleb Williams.
That's the ideal method. That's the ideal way to really aid in the future.
We've got 2 words for you.
Lamar Dodd. How much cap space we got left? Should be plenty if you restructure Minka's contract since you can't trade him with his cap hit. Ridiculous. I think we're around $50 million. Well, now that we cut Larry Ogunjobi, because Larry Ogunjobi was cut, that's another $7 million added. The Steelers are now around $53 million in cap space.
So they still got a chunk of change left to spend, to still use.
Well, actually, no. Because they tendered Warren. They gave Jalen Warren the second round tender. They're going to be paying him $5 and some change. So take that from this year's cap hit. You're still looking around $50 million, a little less than 50.
But restructuring Minka's contract would definitely give him a lot more than that.
Or extending a guy like Watt would cut his cap hit in half for this year, allowing them to spend more.
2 ideal situations just to increase the cap here.
But my question now is, they have all this cap space available. They have only signed Darius Slay. All the other prime corner targets are gone outside of Murphy. Most of the defensive line targets are gone. Bobby Brown went to the Panthers. Milton Williams went to the Patriots.
He was going to go to the Panthers, but then the Patriots kind of pulled one underneath.
But you got all these studs that could have
Puna Ford's going to the Rams. Tierra Tort staying with the Chargers.
So who's available? Jonathan Allen? He's 30.
Javon Hargrave? He's 32.
Are we really trying to fucking age this team?
Don't we already have one of the older rosters in the NFL? Isn't the ideal situation
maybe on the defense?
I think with the team in general.
Well, there's not many old people on the offense.
Well, there is a quarterback now.
Yeah. I guess that would bring us down a little bit.
Yeah, so what?
BJ Hill just signed with the Bengals.
I mean, like the ideal situation is to get younger to build for the future.
They're not.
What are we doing?
They're not, because they signed an aging corner who's still good. Darius Slay is still good.
If you're
But
not down with that,
is he a solution?
we've got 2 words.
Leonard with a
for
2.
you.
4 signings with $50 million. Makes no sense. That's where we're at. You got all this money. You could have gotten some of the younger, proven, experienced talent to build this team to set up the quarterback for future success, to legitimately fill the spots at corner or defensive line, and they're letting the young cats go early. Why? Like,
So it's like the old Kevin Colbert days a little bit.
why are we grabbing the scrap? Why are we grabbing the older guys? Unless Omar Khan is doing it on purpose to get the comp picks. Because he knows guys like Fields and Naji and Moore are going to go, and Dante Jackson. Those are comp picks coming our way. Perhaps he doesn't want to cancel those out. Maybe that's his method to his madness.
Yeah, just
But at the risk of getting older at quarterback and corner.
yeah,
And maybe D-line.
I don't know what his plan is, Omar Khan. I don't know if his plan is to just do what they can this upcoming season, but the whole plan is to collect all these comp picks in order for them to make it more digestible to trade up
Yeah.
in the draft to get a top quarterback. That's very possible.
But I would much rather, for corner, especially corner. I'm tired of these rentals. I'm so sick of these rentals. Levi Wallace, Patrick Peterson, Dante Jackson, now Darius Slay. What are we doing? It's the same thing all over again.
Yeah, cornerback has always been a rotating door of fill-ins of bodies that just come and go.
Dude, we were preaching all offseason. Enough of these rentals. You have all the cap space. You have 7 great corners minimum that we liked personally that you could go out and grab. And they went and grabbed the oldest guy out on the market. Now, Darius Slay can still play. He's still got a lot left in the tank. But is he the permanent solution? No.
He's not the long-term solution.
I know why they signed him, because he's a vet presence that's going to help teach the young guys, because he did that in Philly with DeJean and Mitchell
and Keely Ringo.
and Keely Ringo for sure. But we already did that with Patrick Peterson.
Yeah, just 2 years ago. 2 years ago, we did that with Pat Pete to help mentor JPJ. Maybe the Steelers view that JPJ still needs some mentoring.
Yes, he puts just the Band-Aid emoji.
Yeah, that's what it is. Every year, it's just they apply a new Band-Aid. Like, all right, you just stay there for a year before they have to rip it off and then apply a new one.
Yeah, it's just rental after rental after rental after rental. They had a prime chance to solidify the cornerback 2 position opposite JPJ and even the slot position. And instead they go with another rental. Why? Because he can help develop a JPJ or Corey Trice or potential rookie?
Yeah, because the top cornerbacks are gone now. DJ Reed, he's a Lion. Carlton Davis, he's a Patriot. You got Paulson Adebo, he's going to the fucking Giants.
Nate Hobbs just got a bag to the Packers. All that's available is Byron Murphy.
Asante Samuel.
Those are 2 very good options. I would much prefer Murphy, and I feel like the only saving grace is they sign Murphy and put him in the slot for this year, and then when Slay walks and leaves or retires after 2025, you bounce Murphy outside opposite JPJ.
Like, there's still players at the cornerback position that they could bring in, that they could sign. Maybe we just need to see it play out. But I got to tell you right now, I'm not feeling the signing of Darius Slay, because we've been there, done that. We've seen how many rotating doors of players at the cornerback position come and go. And Slay being signed, it doesn't eliminate the possibility of cornerback being taken in the first round. And that's always been a hot topic amongst Steelers Nation all over social media.
Now,
especially the past 2 draft classes when we taken Jones and Fatanu, when we had the possibility of getting Gonzalez and the Eagles corner.
Mitchell.
Quinion Mitchell.
Now the chat's saying that he isn't exactly cut yet. Slay from the Eagles.
Yeah, I think it's got to be official for Wednesday for him to be officially cut.
Yes. Same thing with Aaron Rodgers. Tristan with a 199. Will Johnson I just missed it. Will Johnson in the draft if we don't sign anyone. If Will Johnson falls to 21 and we pass on him, I'm going to absolutely tear down Pittsburgh.
Which is why this signing of Slay, it doesn't eliminate the possibility of cornerback being taken in the first. You got Will Johnson, you got Barron, Jahdae Barron, right? You got corners like that.
But here's my problem. We can't develop corners, dude. Tell me the last good corner we developed and actually stayed. I'll wait. I'll fucking wait. Chat, please tell me.
No, because
Please tell me.
Here's what I was thinking when the signing happened. Like, you have JPJ, you have Slay, right? And the possibility of them signing another cornerback, or the possibility of cornerback being taken very early in the draft, preferably first round. So you already have that replacement. Say they go the draft method, first round. You have that method. You got a cornerback to replace Slay, and you have JPJ and that cornerback in the first round for the future after this upcoming season.
Sure.
Because they don't like to rush their fucking rookies. But then, what about JPJ's future? Because of the year that he had. Though it wasn't entirely his fault, because the defensive scheme and the way that the play calling was by Terrell Austin was pretty fucking bad.
Well, outside of his grippy and grapping and his penalties.
And the penalties and the poor tackling at that.
That's got to be up there, but I mean...
If JPJ does not take the next step, if he doesn't improve, if he doesn't get better, then we could be looking at addressing cornerback again.
Yeah. So the Steelers, in our opinion, had a prime spot of solidifying at least the cornerback 2 spot and even the slot spot. And they brought in the oldest option. It's nothing against Darius Slay. He can still play. He's going to be a good mentor. I just think we've already been there, done that. We had a prime opportunity to actually fix it, and we go with the rental option again.
I'm just trying to think of the future of the cornerback position because of how many fucking players we have had at the cornerback position. Swear jar, I know. Wouldn't it be a better method to go out there, spend some change, some bucks on a top corner that's going to be here for the future? That's going to lock down the cornerback position alongside JPJ, and then go into the draft and say third, maybe fourth round, get a cornerback as depth. Look what happened. An additional rotational defensive back in the cornerback room.
Look what happened when we signed Joe Hayden and Steven Nelson. The best corner tandem we've had in a long time.
We've got 2 words for
Leonard Dahl with a 5 again. Rod Woodson, but he left. Why not address corner free agency with cap space and then double dip in the draft on D-line that fixes both issues? They can develop D-line.
We've got 2 words.
How about J.K. Dobbins and Mike Hilton as depth? J.K. has too many injury issues, and Mike Hilton's old.
Yeah, let's bring in another aging cornerback.
Javonte Williams to the Cowboys.
Huh?
I guess that takes away the Genty option that we were predicting months ago.
Yeah, 1-year deal.
He might fall.
That. You know what the Cowboys are going to do? Cowboys things. Go on ahead. Why the hell not?
Hey, the Cowboys did something.
I mean, listen, Naji was right there, but you want to take Javonte? Fine. All right, Dallas, have fun.
I guess.
Have fun. All right. What the hell?
How about Chad Kelly, who won the Grey Cup this year? Chad Kelly? You mean Jim Kelly's nephew?
Yeah, that
Mr. Irrelevant years ago?
That headache, yes. Yeah.
What the hell? Count me in.
I just don't know. I don't know what they do. Going back to the cornerback discussion, I don't know what they do at cornerback.
I don't know.
Maybe we have to see it play out for the rest of free agency and the draft. Maybe that's the case.
It's just looking at the path they're going down and the fact they already went down it. I don't have the trust that they're going to be able to develop it properly.
No.
We've been there, done that. We've tried. We suck at drafting corners. I love a lot of the corner talent in this draft. It's very stacked. I think they will draft a corner very high. If it's a Benjamin Morrison, I love it. Will Johnson, if he somehow falls, you don't pass on that. You don't. You run to that podium if he's there at 21.
Yeah.
Trey Amos is fantastic. Jahdae Barron, I would love at 21. For a slot guy, love the talent. It's just, I find it hard to believe that we can develop corners.
So why not go out there and pay the big bucks for a top cornerback free agent that's not Darius Slay, a younger option at that, a guy that's a bigger name in the free agency market compared to Darius Slay.
They wanted experience. They got 12
Okay,
years.
you got experience,
Yeah.
but there's other guys with experience that are more lockdown capable that's going to be here for 2, 3, maybe 4 years.
Yeah, a little bit more of a long-term
Not 1
solution.
year and then like, oh no, what do we do at cornerback? Corey Trice, are you okay? Can you go in there, bro?
My leg.
Come on, bro. Think of the future, bro. Not just like, hey, how can we fill this position in for this year? Enough of that.
Well, what I anticipate What I anticipate is that they will draft a corner high. I don't know how high because, again, we don't have a second-round pick. Maybe they trade back and acquire one. Maybe they trade someone to acquire said second-round pick. But you got to look at defensive line. Larry Ogunjobi was just cut. Who replaces him? They haven't signed anyone. Some of the top dogs are gone. Jonathan Allen's available. I don't know if I like that because he's older and he's been on the decline the last 2 years. He also has injury concerns. You look at, I love Hargrave. He's older too. Do we want to get older? Why do we want to get older? The only guys I like are Tershawn Wharton from the Chiefs and Levi Onwuzurike from the Lions. Minimal starting experience from both, but when healthy, I think they are great guys in the middle of that defensive line, for sure. But that also doesn't take away the idea.
If you're not down with that, we've got 2 words for
Well, the elite
you.
teams do not have old corners. Shaking my head. No, they don't. No, they don't. It also doesn't take away them selecting D-line early. But you also think about running back. You know what I mean? They fixed wide receiver with DK. Still love the trade. Sets up for the future, right? Love it. It's not just about, well, who's throwing them the ball this year? Don't worry about this year. I'm worried about 2026 and beyond. That's why we traded for DK. They did that. Good job. I was hoping that they would be able to sign a legitimate corner, long-term corner in free agency. That way we wouldn't have to take it so high. Now it looks like we will have to.
Now it looks
unless
like,
we get Murphy.
They still can. They still can. Again, we got to see it play out. But why couldn't they do it before signing Slay? Why did they opt to get a guy like Slay other than anybody else out there? That's a bigger name. That's a bigger, important player in the free agency market.
Well, you also got to view they had options elsewhere. They signed elsewhere. You also got to look at Slay. They want to get him off the market as soon as they can. Remember, the Steelers tried to get Slay years ago. Oh, by the way, my fault. Update. Tershawn Wharton just went to the Panthers. So all we have is Levi Onwuzurike.
Oh, jeez. That's another name off.
Levi Onwuzurike is the only other guy I like.
That's another name off.
That's young. He's a true nose.
Names are falling off, bro.
Everyone's saying Joe Milton. I agree. I would, dude. You might as well. He's a similar skill set to Justin Fields, just with at this stage probably more upside because he's still so much younger. You might as well. A 2026 fifth. Here you go, Patriots. Why not? Make him the guy for the year. Let's see what we can do. He has the deep ball ability. He has a strong arm. He has the rushing ability. Go for it. What's it going to hurt? You already traded a 6 for 6 games last year in Fields. You might as well trade a whole season with a 2026 fifth. What does it hurt?
They couldn't do that with Fields, though, with the 6 that they traded.
What, the whole season?
Yeah.
You know they weren't going to do that. Do you know who they signed?
Yes, I know who they signed. I know who they're in discussions with, too. But so what are the odds that it's A-Rod and Joe Milton as a quarterback group?
Malik Willis? Would the Packers trade him?
I brought that up yesterday.
I don't hate that either. That's kind of a full circle moment, isn't it? I don't hate it either. He might be cheaper. He honestly might be cheaper. You know, I'm going to make that a new poll, guys. I'm going to make that a new poll. I'm not even going to include Russ and Rodgers into this because I still can't believe those are the only 2 options. Trade candidates.
Mac Hollins is going to the Patriots.
Why does that make sense?
All right. Yeah, the news is kind of dimmed down a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, no one knows who's signing yet, so.
And not yet.
No one knows who the Steelers quarterback is going to be yet.
There's still a lot of free agents out there.
Sure are.
Yeah, there's a poll in the chat right now. Trade candidates: Kyler Murray, Joe Milton, or Malik Willis.
It's a lot more even than I thought. Kyler Murray and Joe Milton are pretty close together. If you want to go very, very, very cheap, knowing he's going to be a bridge, Milton. If you want to go with something a little more expensive, something that's going to cost you more, Murray. I don't hate the Kyler Murray.
Steelers suck.
Yes, they do, Rocky. Yes, you're right. You got that right, Rocky. Shout out to Mason. Subscribe to the Steel Twins. Appreciate you, Mason.
Appreciate it, bro.
You related to Rudolph? Or you, Rudolph? Come back. I miss you, bro. Bought your jersey for one game. I would gladly reuse it. I would gladly reuse it. What else? What else happened today?
Well,
So, like we mentioned, Justin Fields agreed to terms with the Jets on a 2-year contract, $40 million, $30 million guaranteed. Dan Moore went to the Titans. Get this: 4-year, $82 million with $50 million guaranteed, $30 million in year one. Deuces.
are the Titans that desperate for a left tackle?
Deuces. Dante Jackson agrees to sign with the Chargers, 2-year, $13 million. Those are two guys that could give the Steelers comp picks. Justin Fields, a third guy that gets Steelers comp pick. Najee, whenever he signs somewhere, because he's not coming back. It's another guy.
No, apparently he was already saying his goodbyes to some of the Steelers players and staff yesterday, which yesterday was his birthday, actually.
Damn, that's kind of heartbreaking.
So he was already saying goodbye.
That's kind of heartbreaking, bro. I love Najee. I know it's time to go, but it's heartbreaking, man. Reminds me of Juju a lot on his way out. Always loved him. Javon Kinlaw, apparently the Steelers were interested in him. He signed a hefty contract with the Commanders.
3-year, $45 million deal with $30 million guaranteed. I am glad that the Steelers did not ink down Javon Kinlaw.
No,
He's not good.
No, he was a bust for the Niners. Like, hard pass.
I'm glad the Steelers missed out on him.
The Steelers did re-sign Ryan McCollum to a 1-year deal, so he'll be the backup center to Zach Frazier. I think that's a good interior move for the line. Jalen Warren was given the second-round tender. He will be back as the Steelers running back, one of the two main guys in that run game. Steelers, like we mentioned, released Larry Ogunjobi. They saved $7 million. DJ Reed signed with the Lions. Carlton Davis signed with the Patriots. Paulson Adebo signed with the Giants. Milton Williams signed with the Panthers, or he was going to, and then signed with the Patriots. Chris Godwin.
This surprised me.
I'm very glad that we traded for DK because Chris Godwin re-signed with the Bucks.
And then you add upon that Devontae Adams has agreed to terms with the Rams just yesterday. Who the hell is out there for wide receiver now?
Trade for Purdy?
Yeah, the Niners are not doing that.
No.
They're not. I think we're done talking to John Lynch.
Yeah.
I think we're good.
If you're not down with that, we've got 2 words.
Don, we appreciate you heavy, bro. With a 2, just resigned James Daniels for old ass Rodgers.
If you're not down with that,
Tristan.
we've got 2 words for
Are the
you.
Browns going with Ward after signing Kenny? That would require them to get the first pick, and that's not going to happen. Ward is a Titan through and through. My condolences to Cam Ward. You have Dan Moore protecting your left side. God bless.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't say we didn't warn you.
Listen. You guys know we didn't like Dan Moore as a player. As a left tackle, he was not good. Inconsistent, just giving up a lot of bad plays. He was not a good football player, at least in a Steelers uniform.
But for a 4th-round pick, did he overstay his welcome? Yes. But for a 4th-round pick, to not miss a single game outside of one, which is the only game Broderick started ever at left tackle, and he played great, they got their money's worth. They got that pick worth. Wasn't good, but they got that pick worth. But he got the bag. Good for him. I'm not going to miss him, though. You know what I mean?
I will give more props, though, off the field, considering what the Steelers did. And, I mean, like, the running was all over the wall with Broderick and Fatano in back-to-back first rounds. It was all over the wall, and Moore took it professionally.
He did. He actually helped teach the young guys.
Yes, he did what he could. He gave them guidance. He gave them, what they needed. These rookies coming into the NFL, him with his experience, he did what he tried to do to help these young guys.
So honorably, Dan Moore, as a leader, as a young guy on that line, he wasn't the best tackle, but in the locker room, as a teacher for Broderick and Fatano, I can't thank him enough. And much respect towards Dan Moore's way.
Yeah.
And I do wish him the best. I do. All joking aside, I do. So I got to give him respect on that. That's for sure. But that just ensures Broderick is going to be your starting left tackle. Thank God. Well, not you know what I mean. He's finally in his natural spot. We'll see what he does.
Yeah, we'll see how he works his way as a left tackle, being away from the position for 2 years.
I do worry about the tackle position though, because Broderick was removed from his natural spot for 2 years. Fatanu was out all his rookie year. We're going to have to be more patient with this line, unfortunately.
If you're not down with that, we've got 2 words.
Dodd with a 5. RP to Craig Wolfley, former
Yes.
Steelers defensive lineman. Yeah, that was
Yes.
unfortunate to hear this morning.
Yes.
That was unfortunate to hear this morning, man. Yeah, rest in peace. Rest in peace to Wolfie, man.
Unfortunate loss to the Steeler family, man.
Yeah.
Iconic man, iconic voice, former player turned radio analyst, and just a beloved member of the Steeler family, man. He will be missed.
Yeah. So rest in peace, man. And condolences to his family for sure. And condolences to the Steelers organization. I'm sure a lot of people are feeling the loss here. Past and present players. And administrators and front office people. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, huge loss in the Steelers organization for sure. At SteelTwins, love y'all. Hope you're doing well. Fuck y'all. Oh, you're in Ohio game talks. Oh. Are you a Bengals fan?
Yeah, I see Bengals in his thumbnail, so yeah.
It's a Bengals
Yeah,
fan.
what is your front office doing?
I actually question, what does an offense look like? That's what I'm worried about. That's what I'm worried
Yeah,
about.
they got an offense, but like, are they? They don't even have a defense.
No, they're going to be the
They're
opposite.
letting their best guy explore trade.
They're the opposite Steelers. Highest paid offense, lowest paid defense. Well, we have the highest paid defense, lowest paid offense. The opposite Steelers. It's an AFC North thing.
We sort of kind of have a defense. They don't.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's the point. Just like they have an offense. We don't. Even with this DK
Yeah, but they
trade.
got to pay 2 wide receivers.
Yeah, so do we.
We're paying one.
We're going to. It's not official yet.
We're
but we're
going
going
to.
to.
Yeah.
We got to pay
They have
Pickens.
yet to do so.
We got to pay Pickens.
Maybe.
I don't know. Because
Maybe.
people in the chat are saying maybe they trade Pickens.
That's a maybe. The Bengals situation, they have to pay them. They already franchise tagged Higgins. They want to keep him, and you're not letting Chase walk. So, like, they're in a bad situation.
Right.
While Henderson's looking to be traded.
Would y'all trade Pickens? Because this is a discussion we had live after the immediate reactions to the DK trade, which I still can't believe we were live for that. That was hilarious. We had a discussion about it last night, and I've been pondering on it. There's positives and negatives to it. The positives are you're not paying a quarterback any top money soon, and ideally you're going to draft a quarterback at some point. He's going to be under contract next 4 or 5 years, whenever that is. You're not paying him top dollar money. You can afford 2 phenomenal vertical demon receivers on the outside. You're probably going to draft a running back. You got Warren cheap. The entire O-line is on rookie contract. You can afford it. You can absolutely afford it. The negatives, he's immature. He's a character. He's never going to mature. How much is he going to cause drama when it comes to a contract extension? Is he going to sit out? Do we want that type of energy in the locker room still? There's pros and cons here. Do you want to match his ego with DK's ego? How's that going to pan out? Is Mike Tomlin going to be able to handle all that?
It depends on how the season comes about. Depends who the quarterback's going to be, of course.
I've always said I am
Just how those egos really gel, but I think we can already tell.
Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, it's already being memed about it.
I've always said I've always said I am not opposed to trading Pickens, but it does put you in the same hole at receiver that you were already in before the DK trade. Whatever they were to trade Pickens for, that pick would go to obviously a younger receiver, which is cheaper, probably more mature, and would still pair well with DK. Whenever that is in the draft. Maybe they still go receiver in the first. Imagine a Burden or an Egbuka in the slot or a Golden in the slot. God.
Rotating with Calvin and Roman Wilson, maybe?
Unbelievable. That's a stacked receiving core, even if it is for a year or 2. I'm not opposed to it. I don't know if it actually happens. I'm not going to roll it out. I can't roll anything out with Omar Khan.
No, you can't.
Dre Greenlaw to Denver.
Yes, it's official.
I have personal hatred to that man.
You get over it.
Okay, listen. It's fantasy football related, okay?
That was years ago.
And I
Put
never
it to
forgot.
the side,
and
man.
I never
Bury
forgot.
the hatchet.
Yo, shout out to Josh K. He's in the Discord chat. He'll tell you firsthand. I forget what year it was. I know it was Greenlaw's rookie year. That's all I know. I had Jacob Hollister as my tight end in the finals.
You remember that guy's name?
Yeah. I don't know how. Jacob Hollister was my starting tight end for the Seahawks in the finals. Because Dre Greenlaw stopped them at the half-yard line, I lost. If Hollister got in the end zone, I would have won.
Yes. And you still have not.
I have a grudge over Greenlaw.
You need to get over it. But yes,
That hurt.
Dre Greenlaw has reached an agreement with the Broncos, and he'll reunite with his current teammate now, Hufanga.
That's a good. Both are great signings by the Broncos.
Yep.
Plus, the Packers have been active too. Same thing with the Patriots and the Colts. A lot of teams been active, man.
And the Commanders.
And the Commanders, yes. Steelers, they've been active. They've been making moves. They just, I don't like the ones they're
not
making.
No, like
I
not
don't-
yet.
I
Not yet.
I don't particularly like the ones they've been making, dude. I don't like how
Yes.
we're aging.
So far today,
I don't like the opportunities that they're letting just walk away with the cap space they have.
they let Justin Fields walk. They signed Darius Slay, and they signed Malik Harrison. I almost said Malik Willis.
Malik Harrison.
Malik Harrison.
Now, listen, I know who Malik Harrison is from his Ohio State Buckeye days. I'm unfamiliar with his game.
I'll tell you right now, he's a big body linebacker.
Are there any Ravens fans in the chat? Tell me, how is Malik Harrison? I know he is a rotational piece. That's all I know.
This man is 6'3", 259 pounds.
Big body.
He's a big body inside linebacker.
Perfect run stuffer. And that's the only reason he would be on the field. This is your run stuffing linebacker. This is your Atlanta Roberts replacement. This is the guy you bring in on obvious rundowns. This is the guy. You don't put him in coverage.
He's a younger option. He's a big body linebacker, and he is a run stuffer. And he was a part of the rotation in Baltimore when it was, of course, Roquan, and then they had a rotation of Trenton Smith, but I think they benched him for Malik Harrison.
Right.
I think Harrison's seen a lot of the action in the later part of the season.
Yeah.
So he has experience. He's part of the rotation. He's not, he's no stranger to it. He's a guy that can get the job done in the run game.
Yeah, Holcomb could be that run guy too. It depends how healthy he is.
Me personally, though, I would have just kept Roberts. I would have just extended Roberts.
Yeah, I agree. I would have kept.
That would have just been me, but I mean, it doesn't appear to be the case, obviously.
I would have kept Roberts over Harrison and Holcomb combined, and then maybe pick up someone else later on, someone else cheap. But they want to stack the group, and they did. So I suppose we'll see how it turns out. But he's going to be the 4 guy anyway. So it's just a depth signing. It's just one of those under the radar type situations for the Steelers that they wanted to fulfill. Kind of like I could see safety being another position that they'll address in terms of depth because Casey's a free agent and we have no one back there to be depth outside of maybe Ryan Watts, but he was out all last year.
Yeah,
So
coming off a neck injury, it's a bit of a concern.
So they could absolutely use some safety depth.
If you're not down with that, we've got 2 words for you.
Leonard Dott with a 5. I like Harrison, but you got to get Grant at nose to solidify this move. If he's the pick of 21, I am a happy camper.
You won't hear anything coming out of me. No negativity coming out of me.
I'm a Steelers fan, and I know this game, believe it or not, he is worse than Patrick Queen. Well, that's why he's a depth piece. That's why he's a depth guy.
Depth special teams guy. That's how I envision it.
We still have Porter, right? You mean Joey Porter Jr.? Yes. Yes, he's not going anywhere. We need defensive tackle and running back. I agree. And corner now. Bring back Ben. Listen, man. He already had his helmet on in that Instagram story he put out.
Yeah, you still got some throws in you, Ben?
I watched Ben's last year. It wasn't fun.
Ben, I didn't mean none of that, back in the day.
Oh, you didn't mean none of that?
No, I didn't.
Cam is the only run stopper. Everyone past him does the stupid arm tackle. I know what you mean.
Mm-hmm.
I watched it for so many years. Yeah, Josh Dobbs agreed to a 2-year deal with the Patriots. Yeah, which could set up a Joe Milton trade, says TJ Black. You're right. I would love that. Justin Fields ruined his career for an extra $10 million. He might have.
Oh, wait, how much did Greenlaw get paid? $35 million. It's a reasonable deal. 3 years.
Good deal for him, as long as he can stay healthy.
Oh, wait a minute. Chargers are pursuing Steelers free agent running back Naji Harris, and the hope is to close a deal. The deal is not done yet, but potentially, and if all goes well, a big addition for one of the NFL's best rushing attacks. That's from Ian Rappaport just now.
That makes all the sense in the world.
It does.
It's a fit for him. He's with a good system. It's run heavy with Greg Roman and John Harbaugh. You know how he wants literally every Ravens player possible, but he wants to get a guy like Naji, which fits what they want to run.
And Naji, he actually gets to go back home in LA or California.
Yeah, he's very close to home. Very close to home.
He gets to go back home. He gets to be back in his climate, you know, his familiar area and whatnot. He gets to be behind 2 great tackles at that.
Oh, he's behind a hell of a line.
Yeah.
He's got a good quarterback, too. He actually has a support system for once.
So good on Naji. Good on Naji. I wish him nothing but the best of luck. Actually fits him very well as a Charger.
Yes, it does. That
So
makes
good,
all
good
the
on him.
It's much better than the Raiders alternative that I think a lot of us were thinking.
Yeah.
So good for him, man. What does that mean for running back? We tendered Warren. Where do we go running back in the draft? We're not signing nobody. And if we do, I don't know who that would be. Why is Cordell Patterson not cut yet? You want to cut Ogunjobi, but not Patterson?
No, because he's an Arthur Smith guy.
Fuck
Yeah, I know.
that.
I know. I agree.
Stupid.
I don't agree with that. But,
That's stupid.
you know, the Steelers, you know, they love the chemistry aspect.
What chemistry? There is no chemistry.
They love the chemistry aspect.
There's no chemistry. What, the toss plays? Who's talking to the Colts? Danny Dimes? Daniel Jones?
What, for real? Really?
Can we accept taking a running back round 1 wasn't smart? It was not for Naji. Not when you didn't have a line to build. Not when you didn't have a line set.
The Steelers didn't have the proper plan and set.
They thought, oh, let's just draft Naji, and then we'll draft Dan Moore and Kenji Green. I can't believe that actually happened.
Yeah, it's Kevin Cooper for you. He thought that was a great idea.
Was that all the same draft class?
Yes, it was.
Oh, God.
Do we need to go back to that draft class? 'Cause
No.
I will.
No, I don't want to see it.
Well, I'm going to.
We could have had Creed, bro.
I love Frazier, though.
I love Frazier.
Though we could have had Linderbaum, too.
I know.
But I love Frazier.
Well, we could say we could have had this guy and that guy so many times. I think we get in Dobbins. I'm not feeling it.
Yo, this class. Oh, my God.
That's dog.
Naji Harris, gone. Pat Freiermuth, staying.
He's the only guy here.
Kendrick Green, gone. Dan Moore, gone. Buddy Johnson. Isaiah Loudermilk. I would expect that he's soon to be gone.
Quincy Roche.
He didn't even make the final roster. Trey Norwood. I expected a lot more from Trey. And Presley Harvin.
Now peep 2022.
Yeah, that was Khan's last
Now
one.
peep 2022.
That was Khan's last one. You guys ready for this one? Kenny Pickett.
I'm getting nightmares.
He's now a Brown.
I'm getting awake nightmares.
George Pickens. DeMarvin Leal.
The third.
Still unknown about his future
He's not a
and his
starter.
durability.
He's not a starter. You take a depth guy in the third?
Calvin Austin.
Good.
Connor Hayward.
Bum.
Mark Robinson.
Who?
Chris Oladukin.
Oh, God. Thanks a lot, Colbert.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot.
Wow.
Omar fighting for his job. Terrible drafts. I mean, right now it's not looking pretty. Broderick's not looking great. Fatano was hurt last year. You know what I mean?
We've got 2 words for
JPJ's questionable. Keanu Benton's pretty good. They need to move him to 3-tech and see what he can actually do. McCormick's good. Frazier's good. Who else? Peyton Wilson.
Yeah, thanks, Philly.
They're low key. There's some studs in those drafts. I think the talent upside is still there. 2 years removed, a year removed from last year. I think the upside is still there.
Leonard Dodd for the 5. Why are we struggling to develop corners when Tomlin was a defensive back coach for the Bucks that won a Super Bowl? What is up?
I don't know. All I know is this all happened when Tomlin got here. We were never so bad at developing corners than Tomlin got here, and forget about it. Yes, Art, we did mention Malik Harrison. That was the first thing we mentioned, actually, because that broke the second we went live.
As the intro was playing, actually.
It wasn't as classic as the DK reaction, but you got something. Wasted a first-round pick on Kenny really is the icing on top, bro. Artie Burns, yeah, it was 10 years ago?
Yeah, but
No, 9 years ago. 10 years ago was Bud Dupree.
oh yeah, it was.
God, that was 10 years ago?
Yep.
Yo.
Yep. Yeah, man.
That was almost.
Yeah.
Wow, where did the time go? Let's see. What's the update on the poll? 46% of you guys say, in regards to trade candidates, Rocky, you're right. Shout out to Anthony Perez. Subscribing. Appreciate you. Kyler Murray's at the top of the trade candidates. I wouldn't say the Steelers are always bad at developing corners. They got some of the best corners in history. Roddy, Mel Gibson. Not that Mel. Mel Blunt. You know how, man. Mel Blunt.
Where'd that come from?
I don't know. Mel Blunt.
Hey, Mel Blunt.
Donnie Shell was a hell of a developmental guy at safety, right?
Yeah.
I mean, in terms of defensive backs, overall defensive backs, we got some of the best in NFL history.
It's just under the Tomlin regime is awful.
They're all awful. They're all busts. All of them.
Name me one that stands out.
There's not.
One doesn't stand out.
Artie Burns sucked. Stanquez Golson couldn't stay healthy putting his socks on. Sean Davis was a nightmare.
Yeah. Duran Grant, remember him?
Duran Grant. Let me think. Sutton, his first go around was solid, and then we saw his true colors last year.
Justin Lane.
Justin Lane was such a reach.
Man did not start one game.
He was so raw.
Mm-hmm. Steelers couldn't figure it out.
We are so bad. We are so bad at that.
Yeah.
And they want to pick up the oldest guy on the market and then say, you know what, we're going to draft a guy and have you develop him because we can't do it. Patrick Pearson, he couldn't do it either. He failed. It's your turn. You're big play Slay. You have to. Remember the last corner?
Big play Slay.
Remember the last big corner? Remember the last big play corner we had? Big play Willie Gay. Now it's big play Slay's turn.
Well,
Big play Darius Slay. I'm just coming up with shit.
Just shut up, bro.
I'm just coming up with shit.
Seriously. By the way, William Gay, not the player. William Gay is now a coach for the Commanders.
Box Boy, we signed 34-year-old Darius Slay when Charvarius Ward, Byron Murphy, Asante Samuel, and Nate Hobbs were available. Same thing with Paulson Adebo. And DJ Reed. And Carlton Davis.
And yeah, they had big markets, but I have to believe the Steelers had to have been in that market. They had to have been in discussions with them. I find it hard to believe.
Well, I don't think we'll ever hear about that.
Probably not. But like you had to have been aggressive at getting at least one of those guys, and not just Slay.
Electric Visuals, you better no. We're not taking Jalen Milroe in the first. I will. Something will break live on the air. I'm telling you right now.
The stream will just cut off like that.
If we take
Straight up.
Jalen Milroe in the first round, all hell will break loose. No.
They better. I'm telling you, man. Do not take a quarterback within the first 2 days.
Especially Jalen Milroe. Hard pass.
It's just not the year.
Shamarko Thomas.
Oh,
I tried not
yeah.
remembering him.
Robert Golden. He was a good special teamer, though.
We drafted Artie Burns out of default. Yeah, because the Bengals took William Jackson III.
Forgotten Steeler.
Remember when we traded for him? He got hurt.
The forgotten Steeler, William Jackson III.
Slay be getting cooked sometimes. I mean, he's also older. I mean, it's going to happen.
Which is why I'm not feeling this signing. I probably never will.
Harbaugh is giving consulting classes on how to draft. Heard Coach T signing up.
The Steelers suck.
Thank you.
Thanks,
you took
Rocky.
the words out of my mouth.
Thanks, Rocky.
Good fella, 1422. Appreciate you. Got wide receiver, but created a big hole in running back. The draft doesn't even hold anyone that is impressive. Well, running back stacked, man.
No, I like the running back group in the draft.
But my concern now is when will they draft a running back? There's only 2 guys worthy in the first, but you also got to worry about corner and defensive line still until they sign someone. Even if they sign someone, I still think you got to address those guys because at this point, all the young good ones are gone. You're going to be left with the older guys again.
Yeah, let me look at the.
So, and you don't have a second round pick. Unless you want like a Judkins or a Henderson in the second round, or a Scattaboo, or a Caleb Johnson. Slower options, but options.
Yeah, as far as the draft. As far as free agency goes, Jones is back with Minnesota. Najee's projected to go to Los Angeles. JK's there, but the injury concern still. Nick Chubb, no thank you.
No!
Javonte Williams, he's going to Dallas. God bless them.
Rico Dowdle? Oh, God, this is...
He had 1,000 yards last year. Like, he was good in the later part of the season, but are we going to rely on Ricky Dowdle?
Again, going back. I don't think who you want at running back is going to be there in round 1. I don't know if Genty's going to be there. I don't know if Hampton's going to be there. I could be wrong. Crazy things have happened, and if either guy's there, I'm not rolling it out. But let's say you don't go running back round 1. Are you hoping someone seriously falls in round 3? Like a Henderson because of his injuries? Like a Judkins?
Which is why...
Like a Tutton from Virginia Tech?
Which is why...
This is if you want speed.
I find it digestible. I find it more likely for the Steelers to trade back. I think that's desirable. I think that's what they should do. I think now, it depends on who's available on the board.
Right.
If it's somebody that they can absolutely not miss up on, I can understand that. Really depends on how it is come draft night.
Right.
But I think it's more desirable for the Steelers to trade back, get an extra day 2 back, maybe even some capital for next year's draft class, maybe, if you can, and then just go with that. That way you have the extra pick, and then you can focus on another position with the added pick.
That's what I'm hoping for. That's exactly what I'm hoping for. I think a trade back from 21 is very ideal. It makes the most sense in the world. You need that second round pick back because clearly you haven't fixed anything in free agency yet, and I don't know if they will. A lot of the great ones are already taken up, and their deals become official at 4:00 on Wednesday.
Yeah, they do.
And right now it's kind of a dead period in free agency because it's kind of quiet. And we don't know who's going to be the sign as the Steelers quarterback. It's Russ or Rodgers. And the alternative is Russ signs with the Titans. Rodgers signs with the Giants.
Daniel Jones, come on down. Oh, God.
I would be up for trading for, like you guys were mentioning, a Joe Milton. I don't hate a Malik Willis.
I think a trade option is...
They're both similar skill sets. I mean...
A trade possibility for quarterback now is more open than it was before.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of who and who, like what team's going to be willing to give up one of their quarterbacks.
Broderick Jones next to be traded.
But why? Then you leave tackle open again.
Unless you have someone already available. But who would that be?
Who would that be? You don't have... All you have is Broderick and Fatana.
Yeah, we're not trying to create more holes, you know what I mean? Daniel Jones talking to the Colts. I did hear... Okay, you guys did mention that. The Titans are... What are the Titans doing?
What?
Y'all saw the Texans and Commanders trade. Which one?
Yeah, Laramie Tunsil. You didn't hear about that?
No.
You didn't hear about Laramie Tunsil?
The Texans
trade away Laramie Tunsil to the Commanders.
Why?
Here, I'll get the full thing up here.
Why would they trade Laramie Tunsil? Mr. Gas Mask.
Well, yeah, we all know
Ball and
about
gas
that.
mask.
If I can get everything
Why
here.
would they trade him?
Well,
That
they
doesn't
got
make sense to me.
They got a huge return in it. Texans trading Laramie Tunsil and a 4th-round pick to the Commanders for a 2nd, 3rd, and 4th-round pick.
This year? Or just like...
I think some of that falls into next year. I think they got a 2026 2nd-round pick out of it.
Yo, Commanders going all in.
Yeah, like they're not
They
messing
traded
around.
for Debo. They traded for Tunsil. They just got... Didn't they just sign Jeremy Chin?
No, Jeremy Chin went to the Raiders.
Oh, he was with the Commanders last year.
Yeah. That's a good get by the Raiders, though, to replace Mo Rig.
Jeremy Chin has always been solid.
Yeah, Mo Rig went to the Panthers, I believe.
Right.
That's a good addition for them.
I don't understand, bro. It could be worse. We could sign Trey Lance or Taylor Heineke.
If you're not down with that, we've got 2
Michael.
words for
With a 346, appreciate you. Steelers tanking for Manning. Nothing else makes sense. Rookie quarterback and new head coach 2026. I wish. Because I don't trust Mike Tomlin and company to draft the next quarterback. Because they don't know how to evaluate the quarterback position.
No.
Kenny has proved that to us. Mitch has proved that to us. They fumbled Mason. Not that Mason was going to be the future, but fuck. He was better than both those guys, and he didn't play until the final 3-4 weeks. Like, how they look at that quarterback, how they look at that, not a good quarterback room, but how they look at that quarterback room and think, let's put the best guy on the bench all season. They can't evaluate the quarterback position.
Because they don't know what they're doing.
Who is our starter? I don't know. Mark, I don't know who our starter is next
Actually,
year.
you know why? You know why? Because they didn't want to be proven wrong that they reached on a quarterback and then they made a mistake of extending their backup quarterback.
When you guys going to put up a sign? Shortly. I'm still in the process of making the graphic. Paper Portal, we shouldn't give Russ and Rodgers more than $10 million a year. What makes no sense to let Fields walk and then pay Russ or Rodgers a similar amount? That's my feeling. Or worse, more. I just get this bad feeling Russ or Rodgers are going to command a much more expensive market than Fields, which is why we were pressuring to get Fields back. $30 million guaranteed. Look at it how you will. That's cheap compared to all the other starting quarterbacks in the league, not including rookie deals. If you are going to resign, or if you're going to resign Russ or bring in Rodgers for more than that, what an absolute fumble.
And I don't see how they get less than Fields.
Unless it's a super, 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 super dirt cheap friendly deal. Then it's very much easier to digest. It's acceptable. I don't like it, but it's cheaper.
Again,
the point of bringing back Fields was because he had a cheap market compared to all the other guys. And he had the most upside. But the point of this year is it's a bridge, no matter what. No matter who's the quarterback, it's a bridge. But who is the best and cheapest bridge possible? That guy's already off the charts, in our opinion.
I stated this earlier in the stream. It was never about the money. The money, to me, it plays a factor. There's no doubt about it. But I don't think that was the issue. The issue was the fact that the Steelers could not commit to Fields for one reason or another. Or maybe Justin Fields just didn't trust the Steelers, and I can't blame the guy. Maybe he just doesn't trust Mike Tomlin. Can't blame the guy.
They did him dirty.
They did him dirty, pulling him out, putting in Russ because Tomlin wanted to see what he had in him. And the fact that Russ was a part of that losing streak down the final stretch, and he never once thought or considered putting Fields in. How would you feel if you were Justin Fields?
Yeah, I would have doubts myself.
So I don't blame Fields for leaving.
No.
I think it came down to the fact that there was a lack of trust and commitment to Justin Fields. And if you're Justin Fields, you're thinking, what the hell, man? Like, why?
And at this point, we can harbor it as much as we want to, but it's in the past now. We got to look past it. It's official. It'll be official come Wednesday, too.
The Steelers better know what they're doing, at least for the future standpoint. From a futures perspective, they better have an understanding and a plan to go forward, to move forward.
I just want them to have the cheapest option available for the bridge quarterback so they could use that cap to spread it everywhere to, again, set up for the new guy.
And they have the cap to do it. They still have a boatload of cap.
And I feel like they're doing a lot of wrong today. They let their cheapest option go for one reason or another, and they signed an older corner when they could have went a cheaper option, someone that would have been a solution. That's not setting up for the next guy. It's not. I feel like it's just doing the same thing over and over again. Like A-Rod or Russ. We're doing this again. We're going with another aging quarterback. We're going with another aging rental.
It's like taking a page out of the Indianapolis Colts playbook. Oh, let's just go with veteran quarterback after veteran quarterback after veteran quarterback every single year.
Let's get Phillip Rivers. Let's get Matt Ryan. Who else? Joe Flacco.
Hey, Joe, why not? Come on down, bro.
Would y'all accept
I know
Joe
you
Flacco?
always wanted to be a Steeler, Joe. Why not, man? It just fits you right, brother.
Would y'all bring... You know what? That's a new poll. Would y'all Accept Joe Flacco as the starter. Yes, this is how deep we are in the quarterback purgatory, folks. This is how deep we are.
If I hear a report of the Steelers and Joe Flacco talking, I'm going to laugh my ass off.
What about Cousins? No.
No. Even if he's released, no.
Brady Quinn? Ew.
And he doing college, whatnot, whatever he does.
I don't know what the hell he's doing.
College discussions.
I don't know. I'm not like
anyone for game day, like the game day stuff. I don't want Brady. No. Yeah, right now there's just no news. It's kind of quiet.
That figures.
As we're about to hit 8 o'clock over here.
Yeah, that figures. Oh, why?
Nothing yet until something breaks.
Let me see. A lot of you guys are saying no. Dude, I at this point, I don't care. I really don't care. As long as it's cheap.
How bad can it be?
I've been accepted that this is the year of the bridge. I've been accepted. I'm not expecting anything.
Now that Fields is gone, I don't
really
have a lot to look forward to at the quarterback position.
If we have the worst season in forever coming up, fine. I think we're due. I honestly think we're
honestly it might be a blessing.
I will enjoy it for what it is, and I will laugh most of the way.
Honestly, what's happening could very well be a blessing. It could very well be a blessing for the Steelers because Steelers need to acknowledge that they're fucking up.
Is Drew Lock
available? They're screwing up.
Is Drew Lock available?
I think he is.
Zach Wilson's not available. He went to where?
The Dolphins.
Oh. Why? I don't want Drew Lock.
You know,
again, I don't care. I really don't, bro. I really don't.
Here, do I have to look at the free agent quarterbacks?
Yeah.
All right.
Think Tom Brady is willing to do one more year. Not for us. Not for us. Not maybe the Raiders, but they already got their quarterback. Who do you guys want as the next franchise guy in next year's draft? I mean, everyone's saying Archie Manning, but I don't know if he's actually going to declare. He's going to be a sophomore next year. He doesn't have to declare.
That might be too early for Archie. Now, it really depends on how he goes out there and performs.
Yeah.
But even then, still, I think it'd be wise just to continue playing college, even after this upcoming season.
Same thing with Nico from Tennessee. He might not declare. He's still young. Very young. Drew Allar from Penn State, I'm not the biggest fan of. I think it was smart for him to return, but there's still a lot wrong with his game.
But I know that
the playoffs prove that.
I know that there's something there with Drew. It's just up for him to get that out of him.
I know. But I'm still not a huge fan of him.
Who else is there?
There's not a ton of options. Not off the top of my head. Garrett Nussmeier, is that how you say his name?
Okay, here's the quarterback market.
Yeah, go ahead.
Outside of Rodgers and Wilson, here's the quarterback market.
I'm gonna check Twitter quick.
Trey Lance, Jacoby Brissett, Taylor Heineke.
Oh God, this is bad.
Marcus Mariota.
This is pretty bad,
Drew Lock, Joe Flacco, Jameis Winston, Mac Jones,
oh God,
Carson Wentz, Case Keenum, Mason Rudolph.
Hallelujah, bring him back.
Easton Stick, Cooper Rush,
Jameis Winston, Tyler Shough. Tyler Shough is not the future.
Kyle Allen.
No.
They listed Teddy Bridgewater.
We have nothing to get excited for.
Oh, and Daniel Jones.
Yeah, bring Mason back.
At this point.
That's the new poll.
At this point.
That's the new poll.
Pull it.
Dude, why not? Why the hell not?
Can't hurt. Give him that one true final chance, huh?
This is how desperate we are. We're just going through names and having fun in the chat, bro.
If he comes back, I will wear that jersey every single game day.
So will I. There's a poll in the chat. Bring Mason back. While you do that, get you guys' votes in. If you guys are new to the stream, we appreciate you guys. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. If you guys are new, we greatly appreciate everyone tuning in on this mid-Monday afternoon into evening.
Mid-Monday, I like it.
We have a Guy Uwave with a 5.
Trade a house up to get Cam Ward or Jackson Dart, or even make a sneaky trade and sign Brock Purdy. Any of those could be our franchise, in my opinion.
The Titans aren't giving up number 1.
I see where you're getting at, man, but I think all of them are highly unlikely.
And Jackson Dart, I don't think he's worth a first. You got me on a 3rd, but I think we all anticipate him not falling that far.
Yeah.
If he does, gladly. I can't sell on him being a first. Just not me, man. Just not me.
I'm right there with you, bro.
How's the poll looking? Pickett versus Mason next year? You know what? We've seen worse Steelers-Browns games. Can't be that bad. 65% of you guys say yes, bring Mason back.
Mason versus Kenny.
Okay, but genuinely, Cooking with Chef Terry, subscribe to the SteelTwins. Appreciate you.
Steelers suck.
Brian, Bechdel, subscribe. I love this. This used to be the Let's Ride, but we're not riding no more.
No, I don't want to.
So, hell yeah. I like that. That was a nice addition. But honestly,
yes.
What do you guys want at quarterback? Who do you guys want to be the quarterback? Realistically, let's be realistic here. Whether that's the draft or free agency. Who do you guys want with as little and insufferable options as we have? Who do you want at quarterback? Let us know in the chat. While you do that, I'm going to thank the sponsor of this live stream. Huge shout out to BetUS Sportsbook and Casino. As you guys see, they have the odds up already for Defensive Player of the Year. Mr. Myles Garrett, $40 million a year, top of the list. He really cares about winning now, doesn't he? $40 million a year, Myles Garrett, top of the list. Micah Parsons, below him. Aiden Hutchinson, below him. TJ Watt is 4th in the ranking for Defensive Player of the Year. He should be getting an extension soon. Will Anderson, up next. Max Crosby, up next. Nick Bosa, Jalen Carter, Trey Hendrickson, and then the list goes on and on. Even the reigning defending Defensive Player of the Year, Patrick Surtain, plus 3,001 odds. I know it's tough for players to go back-to-back Defensive Player of the Years. I think AD is the last one to do it, but you never know. If you guys want to get any of your odds in for any early NFL future bets for the offseason, BetUS has you covered. They also got you covered on 150% sign-up bonus on your first deposit up to $2,000 and 125% on your following deposits up to $2,000 as well. So huge shout out to BetUS for sponsoring with us. Just please gamble responsibly. Whatever is cheap, I don't blame you. Mac Jones, you did not say that sincerely. Will Howard, Patrick, bro, digital, come on. Me too. Me too. Me too. Let's see what the chat's saying. I'm going to start from the top. Mr. Sloth with a 99-cent. Appreciate you. All right, let's see. I'm going to start from the top and I'm going to read it down. Mason, Brissett, Russell Wilson, let Mason cook, Kyler Murray, Daniel Jones, says Pittsburgh Portal. Really? Really? Russ, same code, same results next. You're not wrong. Mason, Rodgers, Russell Wilson, Rodgers for 1 year, I think. I want Rodgers and Shook. Someone who's not a senior citizen. Speaking my language. DK and Pickens would lose their mind with Mason. And the deep ball? Oh, my God. Mason, Jackson Dart, fuck it. We were bad in 2020 and didn't have a first-round pick to get a legit quarterback class because we traded that for Minka. And we still haven't won anything. Rodgers, Russ or Dart, Rodgers. Y'all bringing some more news, Twins. Just came in from the beginning. I'm not live with y'all. Nah, I'm hoping we get some news.
There's been nothing. Twitter is dead right now.
Kyler Murray, Mason Rudolph, Aaron Rodgers. At this point, Rodgers or Mac Jones. None of them, but Rodgers is the best option. Trade for Murray. F it. Kyler Murray, Aaron Rodgers, Joe Milton via trade. Sanders. He was the most sacked and still played great. Then get Joe Milton as a backup. I guess Mr. Unlimited. Trade up for Sanders. Don't sleep on him. I'm not trading up for Sanders. I don't even like him in the first.
Not doing that.
Personally. Joe Hilton. Joe Milton. Daniel Jones. Kyler Murray. Aaron Rodgers. John Cena.
Run the ball!
Eric Posey. Became an STM member. Appreciate you, Eric.
Thank
Al
you, bro.
Bundy. Bad times when Darnold and Geno are the guys.
If you're not down with that,
Yeesh.
we've got
Jeez,
two
dude.
words for you.
Dennis Dixon says Phillip, and Terry Jones with it too. Says Steelers always budget bin shopping. Yeah, it's like they go into the $5 bucket of DVDs at Walmart and just pick out all the just unknown movies, right? That's what we're doing. Who are these people? What's this one? This one's
they're
new.
penny pitching right now. Got all these shiny new toys right on the shelves just waiting to be bought. And the Steelers are like, what can we get on a discount?
What's Johnny Manziel doing? What?
If you're not down with that,
Antoine.
we've got two words for
Antoine Hill with
you.
199. Joe Milton, my best. Or at best, Mason at worst.
The Steelers suck.
They do. They sure do.
I love these sound bites.
I'll tell you right now, I don't have any of that. My Floyd is pink 79. Appreciate you.
The crazy cat lady down the street.
I'm sold. I will pay her in cat food. I don't care. I'll feed the cats for her. Think I'm playing. I just won't bathe them though. That's not my job. I'll spray them down with a hose. Dude, we are absolutely scrammed.
We are at the bottom of the barrel.
This is what it's like to be a Browns fan. This is what it's like to not have a quarterback. We're going to admit it to all y'all, okay? We don't know what this is like.
Nope.
We had Ben for how many years? 20-something years.
Our whole life.
Whole life. I don't know life before Ben. I was too young. Way too young. All I watched growing up was Ben. This sucks. If this is what y'all experienced after Bradshaw with Brister and Malone and Mike Tomziak and Neil O'Donnell and however many other guys I'm missing. Listen, bro, like that wasn't fun for you guys, and this isn't fun for us. And I'm sad to hear that you guys are about to experience that all over again.
No, but I mean, like the Steelers, man, go to show they just don't know how to have a backup plan or a proper plan to find a successor.
No, they don't. No, unfortunately
They have not been able to, at least not yet. When that comes, I don't know. So here we are, just really just picking our poison. Oh, is it Russ? Do we want Russ? Do we want A-Rod?
I'm surprised we haven't signed anyone yet. In terms of quarterback or defensive line, running back, people keep saying JK might be an option. I don't know about that.
He was the option in 2020.
2020.
Yeah, 2020.
I want him over Claypool. But at this stage of his game, listen, he had a good year last year, but injury concerns, and I don't know if he's got exactly what we need at running back.
I mean, yeah.
If it's a super cheap deal, whatever, right?
I mean, down the stretch, he suffered an injury, and it affected him.
Yeah, trade for Derek Carr.
The Saints are not moving on from Carr.
Y'all keep forgetting that.
I don't even want Carr.
No.
If you're not down with that, we've got two words for you.
Trade for Joe Flacco for a 6. I think we would just be able to
No,
sign
you
him.
can sign him. You can sign him for whatever changes on the couch that he's sitting on right now.
Bring back Brian St. Pierre. Why? Colts signed Ashton Dolan. Who's that?
Wide receiver.
Oh, I don't know. Who?
Beats me. I just know he plays wide receiver.
Guys, calm down. The standard is the standard. Laugh my ass off. Standard's a standard. I'm scared. I'm really scared.
Well, this is what they do.
Y'all keep forgetting that after the Bengals game, when Russ dropped 40, they limited him to what he can do, LOL, which is why he sucked at the end of the year. I see what you're saying. Him and Arthur Smith bunt heads. I know exactly where you're coming from. You're not wrong, but Russ was also very unprotected with the football at the end of the year. It wasn't all Russ. It's not fair to play it all on Russ. Defense sucked, and overall,
O-line played terribly.
yeah. So it's not fair to put all.
It's not
on.
all on Russ, but he was a part of the problem.
But
He's not doing us good.
But if they can listen to what Russ wants to do with the offense and actually throw the ball, maybe we can open
But
things
if they
up.
couldn't listen to fucking Russell Wilson, what makes you think they're going to listen to anybody else?
Exactly. Russell Wilson, who is one of the more humble leaders
So
in
it's like
the
at this
entire
point,
NFL
why are
world.
you bringing in a quarterback if you're not going to listen to these people? These veterans.
Uncle Rico. How far do you think I can throw it over those mountains? Great movie, by the way.
I'll put in Napoleon Dynamite as the quarterback. Why not?
Where does Trey stack up against the quarterbacks available? You mean Trey Lance? He's awful.
Bottom of the barrel.
Awful.
If you're not down with that,
He couldn't even
we've
outbeat
got
Cooper
two
Rush.
words for you.
We paid a backup inside linebacker $5 million before getting a quarterback, D-line, or corners to pay for Boyle. A fourth string linebacker.
Yeah.
If Holcomb's healthy. Richard Hunt with a 199. Trade Pickens for a third.
Third.
That's it? He says sign Cup and Rodgers. So you're replacing Pickens with Cup to be here for what, a year?
Yeah, no.
If you want to keep Pickens and add Cup, you can afford that. I'd much rather trade Pickens for a second or a part of a trade that includes a quarterback. If you're gonna trade Pickens, it needs to be what you're missing in the draft or what you're missing on the roster in some sort of way to improve the team. You know what I mean?
Well, now that you mentioned that, let's think about that. Like, hypothetically speaking, what team could use Pickens but willing to give up their QB? Who would that be?
I don't know. Who needs receivers so bad that they're so willing to give up a franchise guy?
Arizona?
Why? For who? For who? They literally just got a new head coach.
Yeah.
They just got a first-round receiver, Marvin Harrison, last year.
Even
Why-
that, it wouldn't make sense.
They
So,
resigned James Conner. Why are you trading away Kyler?
it wouldn't make sense. You're just setting the franchise back.
That's
It's
what
not
I'm saying.
ideal. They almost made the playoffs.
I don't understand it. That doesn't trading Pickens for a quarterback doesn't make sense because what team is so desperate for a receiver that they would trade away the guy throwing him the ball?
So even then, yeah.
Unless it's for someone with so much upside, like an Anthony Richardson. But that's kind of that's a huge gamble, right? That's a huge gamble because he's injury prone. He has bad decision making. He turns the ball over. The only thing he has is a rocket arm and athleticism. Will Levis? Come on, bro. Let's be serious.
I don't.
Phillip.
I don't want Mayo Man. I don't want
Get Chris Oladukin back. Kirk Cousins. Oh God, this is
no.
Stop.
Stop.
I'm depressed.
Stop.
This is
No.
desperation.
Why do I see it though?
What?
Cousins.
Don't put that evil on me.
I'm sorry.
I just want to see Russ and DK reunite. I am so unmotivated by this season. I don't care.
That doesn't even excite me.
No, but because we know what Russ is going to offer. We already seen it.
I said what I say yesterday. I said I'd be accepting of Russ coming back if they couldn't get Fields back. Does that mean I prefer Russ to come back? No.
Pat Mahomes, I wish. Would you trade Watt for Burrow? Yeah. 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 I think I would. For Burrow, when healthy, he's the second best quarterback in the league, in my opinion.
Bengals made the playoffs,
But
I think he would have won
but
MVP.
you would think you would have to face Watt twice a year.
Yeah, you would. And Fatanu, best of luck.
That makes no sense.
No.
But you also, if you trade for Burrow, you're pushing for a championship. You can't do that by trading Watt.
No. If you're going to trade Watt.
Don't put me in a tough spot.
If you're going to trade Watt, you're going to get mega capital out of it.
And that's not happening. We are not trading Watt. As much as we made it known yesterday in the live stream where we discussed it before DK got traded,
I am not opposed to it.
it's never going to happen. The Steelers aren't going to do that. Knight Rider, Trade Watt for 2 firsts, 1 this year and 1 next year, then use those picks to move up and draft a quarterback. That's what you call a rebuild. A complete rebuild, which I think the team should do. Unfortunately, it's not going to happen.
It's what they have to acknowledge. It's what they have to understand, but they never will. Rooney never will, and Tomlin never will.
You know, we're going to say it one more time. It doesn't make sense to pay Watt $40 million plus a year when he's over the age of 30. He's only going to age, and you don't have a quarterback. You're not anywhere close. It makes sense to pay him that if you're close, because you don't want to miss that on the defense. You're nowhere near. He has yet to win a playoff game. Why pay him $40 million? It's not Watt. It's not Watt. That's the problem. It's that the team isn't anywhere close, and paying him $40 million would just be.
If you're not
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We've got 2
Imagine what you could get out of that.
Richard Hunt with a $4.99. Pickens for a third. Draft Golden. Bring in Cup for a year with Rodgers. Get a D tackle in the third. Think about it. DK Cup and Muth with Rodgers. LFG.
See, I think we still get more for Pickens. But I don't hate the idea of drafting Golden to replace him. I think that's great. Cup in the slot. D tackle in the third. I mean, D tackle stacked. Can't disagree. You can still take running back. I mean, I don't hate that. I think we can get more for Pickens, but I don't exactly despise that. Never rule anything out. With Omar Khan, you can't rule anything out. That's the one thing that he has taught me the last 3 years. I counted out the DK trade Friday night. Come Sunday afternoon, yesterday. Bro, unbelievable, right? I can't say, oh, that's not going to happen, because it could happen. I can't say that no more.
Yeah.
Maybe I can say it about certain players like Watt and them, but ultimately it could happen. Just Omar Khan's mentality, man. It's like anything's open for business.
Yeah, at this point, anything is on the table. So it's just a matter of like what's actually going to happen, what's going to come down, who's going to agree to terms, who are they going to negotiate with, who could they possibly look to trade for again?
And why? Yeah, I agree. Visuals. Why is it so quiet? Too quiet.
I thought it was quiet this afternoon when Twitter was down.
Where is everybody?
Anybody else experience that? I think everybody did, right?
Okay.
Twitter was down for a little bit.
Where did this Kyler Murray stuff come in? I'm not getting my hopes up, but where did this Kyler Murray stuff come up? Who started this?
I heard nothing. It's not even on my feed. I heard nothing about it.
Who started? Is this just a mere rumor? Is there any juice to this?
I think this came about when somebody suggested. I think it was on a show or something, and some analyst or somebody suggested it.
I don't know.
But it was like never like there was no substance to it.
I don't think there is. It doesn't make sense for the Cardinals to do it. Joe Milton makes sense, but Kyler Murray doesn't. Because why would the Cardinals do it? The Patriots trading Joe Milton, whatever. They got Dobbs as the backup. Makes all the sense in the world.
Yeah.
Kyler getting traded, that would set Arizona back when they have such a young team. I don't know.
By the way, Justin Fields a Jet. We play the Jets at MetLife.
I didn't know that.
And Dante Jackson, a Charger. We play the Chargers at SoFi.
Fun.
Yeah.
Trade for J.J. McCarthy? I don't think, no, because who's the Viking quarterback? Is Aaron Rodgers going to go to the Vikings? Then J.J. McCarthy sits on the bench for another year. It's not a bad thing. Cam Newton. Cardinals aren't trading K1. It was because of a rumor of him going to Jets. It was fake news. I don't know how it got started. It's more so believe it when you see it, right? Kind of like the DK trade.
Yeah.
By the way, you guys still hype over that? I kind of am.
I'm excited for the future.
Yeah,
I'm excited what he's going to bring to the future and what whatever the future plan is that Khan has in mind for the Steelers down the road.
Yeah.
That's what I'm excited about because this upcoming season, I can't talk. This upcoming season, even with Fields, if Fields were to come back, You know, that was something that I could look forward to. Now I don't really look forward to anything at quarterback, no matter what they do. So I don't have a lot of expectations for this upcoming season.
Yeah, but after that, like we're anticipating getting quarterback 2026, that's why they trade for him. That's why we were excited. That's why we're still a little excited.
After this upcoming season, that's what I'm going to look forward to the most.
Because that's how you set up a quarterback for success. You get him elite weapons years in advance. And that's what they did with DK. I don't know what his impact is this year. Just gonna have to wait and see. He's an absolute upgrade nonetheless.
It could just very well be a sample of like, hey, you know, this is what I will bring to this team.
But after 2025, that's when things hopefully start getting a little exciting for us fans, because then we'll have a new face, hopefully, and the right one. And then he's going to have everything that he could ever ask for in an offense, minus coaching. Because I don't trust coaching. Despite this DK news, and I love it, I don't trust the coaching. I never will anymore. They have lost my faith. They've been lost my faith, as a matter of fact. It's kind of how I'm at. Just waiting for 26th season. The draft is in Pittsburgh, and that's when we'll go for our hopefully next franchise quarterback. That's where I'm at. Will Pickens stick around? Time's going to tell, man. GP and DK going to be too busy fighting opposing team secondaries. Imagine Jalen Warren, right? It's 4th and 1. It's 4th and 1, right? And Jalen Warren runs the ball. And then you got DK and Pickens fighting Marlon Humphrey and Nate Wiggins on the opposite side. And we got a boxing match on each side of the field, on each bench.
Nate Wiggins just held up by one arm by DK.
You know what? I think that'd be funny.
The memes are hilarious, by the way.
Yes. Milton Needs is a great quarterback coach to work out his mechanics. Lord knows 36. You're right. We don't have that.
Who's our quarterback coach?
Tom Arth.
Tom Arth. That's right. Mike Sullivan. He's still with the team?
I can't exactly say that because he hasn't been given the opportunity to do that with a young quarterback. I can't say that.
Yeah, he's still fresh.
I just don't trust. I don't trust the offensive approach to set him up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because like, what is their mindset when it comes to the offense? I think we all know that. Running the football effectively.
Yeah. Which we don't have a running back.
Not yet.
Not yet.
We have one tendered. We don't have another one.
Our future franchise quarterback might be playing high school football right now. He might not be born. Think about that. He might not even be born yet, bro.
Is this what people in the 80s thought? The 90s thought?
Yeah. Perhaps.
Man.
Yeah.
Wow. All right.
Trade for Trevor Lawrence next year. I can't roll it out, can I? I don't know why the Jags would do that. That would put them in cap hell.
Jags got a GM. No, it's not happening.
No.
They're not taking over $100 million in dead cap. And
No.
Liam Cohen loves Trevor Lawrence, so it just never made sense.
Tank and fire Tomlin, says Tim Robinson. I wish. I think the Steelers are so due for it. But if there's one certainty I can for sure say about the Steelers, that's never going to happen. They don't tank, and they don't fire coaches. Art the Clown is too blind of Mike Tomlin's success.
He's stubborn.
I hate it. We wanted Dan Marino. I know you guys did back then. Who didn't? Except, of course, Dan Rooney, one of his few blunders was, we don't want to take the hometown kid because that's too much pressure on him.
As a matter of fact, he mentioned it in his book. I read it about a year ago. He mentioned that he was pulled to the side from somebody from the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette at the time. And that person said to Dan, you should draft Dan Marino. He's a great talent. He could be your future. You should really, really go for this guy. And Dan said, all right, I'll keep that in mind. And he brought that discussion to a couple of people in the war room for the draft. He mentioned that discussion, and those people were like, he doesn't know what he's talking about. And
he never should have listened to him.
Dan, unfortunately, listened to those people.
He had the wrong people in the war room.
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah. I remember reading that. I'm like, wow, like, dang.
Yeah,
that's what transpired.
The stories those walls could tell, man. Unbelievable. Love to be a fly on the wall in any time frame.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, with that being said, there's not much else to say. There's not much else to talk about.
And there is not much news.
And finally, the poll is very, very close. 51% of you guys think that they should bring back Mason. Now 52%. Very, very close. I don't care anymore.
Why the hell not? What's it going to do? What's going to hurt?
It's between Russ or Rodgers.
He can have his number back. He can sling the ball because he still can.
Drug rumors. Is that what it was?
What?
Drug rumors with Dan Marino. Really?
I didn't hear anything about that.
Well, you're just reading what Dan Rooney said.
Yeah. No.
It was Chuck Noll that didn't want him. It was because of drug rumors, according to Eric.
Okay.
Wow.
All right.
I didn't know that. Chuck Noll was horrid at the end of his time with us. Yeah, for sure.
Well, regardless,
Every coach runs out, right? Every coach runs out at some point. But yeah,
hint, hint.
I know. Hopefully they get the picture at some point.
Yeah.
With that being said, man, we don't know who the starting quarterback is, but we do know who won't be. And we do know who will be the starting cornerback opposite Joey Porter Jr. All in all today, in my opinion, it's not a great day to be a Steelers fan. Or I'm not feeling great as a Steelers fan today. Yesterday I was feeling good. Today, not so much.
Yep.
I think they're getting older when they should be getting younger. I feel like they missed out on opportunities and they let them pass by. But we'll see what they do. Trust the process, I suppose, if you want to.
I mean, I want to. I really do. It's just hard to really kind of figure out the path that they're going on.
It's only day one of free agency. Let's see what they do because there's still tomorrow. There's still the rest of the week. There's still multiple free agents available. Byron Murphy's still available. They can still sign him. I'm still holding out hope that he can be the slot guy up until Darius Slay leaves and then he bounces outside in year 2. Hoping that can still be the case. Defensive line, I know a lot of you guys might want Jonathan Allen. I'm going for a Levi Onwuzurike from the Lions for a cheaper option to play the true nose, potentially. Anyone else? Quarterback, it's Russ or Rodgers. And if they go to, if the Giants sign Rodgers, if the Titans sign Russ or the Vikings sign A-Rod, I don't know, and I don't care. We know it's going to be a bridge this year. It's just get the cheapest option you can, and let's hope for the best.
Chris Boswell, get that arm ready.
Yeah. Hell, I'll even put out Presley Harvin. I'll bring him back to play quarterback. Anyone of you guys in the chat can play quarterback. I will buy the jersey tomorrow. I swear to God. I would, man. We'll see what happens the rest of the week. We'll keep you guys updated for sure. But hopefully soon, whether that's later tonight, tomorrow, we got to know soon who will be the quarterback for next year.
I feel, not to interrupt you, but I do feel it's imminent. I feel like it has to be. The Steelers, man, they got to figure out the quarterback position, and they still have a plethora of positions and free agents that they have to go try and get.
Yeah.
Got to get to work.
At this point, we might be drafting a quarterback, and I don't think that's ideal. But
that's not my preferred method. I don't think that's a great idea. But again, anything's on the table. We'll see what path they choose. We'll see what they decide to do. We'll see what they bring in. But the work continues.
The options aren't great, but that's what we're dealt with. Let's just hope for the best, guys. Keep you guys updated. Give you guys our opinions throughout the week regarding all of free agency. But thank you guys for tuning in. As always, we appreciate you guys joining us on this mid-afternoon, discussing everything around the Steelers today. They were active. Not as active as I wanted them to, and maybe not the additions I thought they were going to make, but they were active. They're keeping the phones ringing, and they're still talking to, I would imagine, several people. We'll see what continues on tonight, tomorrow, the rest of the week, and ultimately we'll see you guys whenever news breaks. And hopefully there's still a ton to come. But hopefully the Steelers get something going. Hopefully the Steelers can get something crazy to happen. You know what I mean? It feels like something's building up. It seems like when things die down and when things are really quiet, something crazy begins to happen. Very much like the DK move. It's very rare lightning strikes the same place twice, but anything can happen with Omar Khan.
And with around still $50 million in cap space to have, who knows what's up their sleeve?
Yeah.
Who knows what Omar Khan has up his mind? Just got to be, I guess we got to just let it play out, be a little bit more patient.
Maybe be a little more optimistic if you want to. Depends. It's all about perspective. But we're going to get on out of here. We're going to go enjoy the rest of our Monday night. But appreciate you guys watching. And a huge shout out to BetUS Sportsbook and Casino for sponsoring with us on this live stream. Again, for NFL future odd bets, or for anything revolving around the sports world and your gambling needs, BetUS has you covered. If you're looking for a new sports book, take advantage of that 150% sign-up bonus on your first deposit up to $2,000 and 125% on your following 2 deposits. So shout out to them for sponsoring with us. Shout out to you guys for watching. Here we go, Steelers, at the end of the day. If you're new here, before you exit, hit that like, hit that subscribe. We would greatly appreciate it. And Steelers Nation, it's an interesting offseason, but we'll see you guys later this week for sure with more news to break, more opinions to come, and more discussion, more interaction. We'll be here all week. Can't wait for it. See you in the next one. Here we go, Steelers.
Stay tuned, guys. And as always, like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you later.
Peace!
Aaron Rodgers.